Okay.
Welcome to the Power Chamber Podcast.
The only PCP with minimal preservatives. We don't last long.
We don't last long.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
admittedly, we got this one up a lot faster than we did the last one. So
yes. Oh well, that's true. Yeah,
getting
we're trying to
better.
make this more regular. So
Yeah, exactly. And we have to get back to first we have to like reset and go back and do a couple of things that we said we were going to do that we didn't get to do. So
yes,
episode
yes,
we're going to talk about Dino Fury season 2,
yeah.
and
Dino Fury season 2. Just touch on this one, and so that we can get to talking about Cosmic Fury. I'm assuming you want to do that next or
yeah, that will be the
soon.
next one for sure. And it won't take nearly as long for sure.
Well, it's just
Take
10
that.
episodes, so
Yeah, exactly. So we'll figure that out. But as far as season 2, man, whew,
it's funny because, like, when we originally watched this, I remember saying to you that, like, season 2 was markedly better than season 1.
yeah,
Because, like, this was the first season that was, like, premiered exclusively on Netflix. And when you can kind of see what happens when the shackles of the Nickelodeon mandates or Saban mandates kind of fall away. And that was kind of how I perceived it at the time.
yeah, which I think was
But
fair. Yeah, I was going to say, but going back and watching it because we did have to rewatch the show to just kind of
yeah.
remember everything that happened. Going back and watching it, man, it's not a whole lot of.
Yeah, I've always said that, like, or at least I've learned over the past couple years that, like, rewatching things is important as far as, like, your perception on a certain piece of media. Sometimes
Absolutely.
things will hold up, sometimes things won't. Like, for example, I've watched certain Megaforce episodes over this past year, and I still think, like, even regardless of all the stuff that happened, I still think that that show is pretty rock solid as far as, like, just a
It's really not bad.
genuine, entertaining good time.
Yeah,
Is there some things that could have been done better? Absolutely, but as far as, like, the overall,
I think that's true
uh,
every season. I think every
as far as
season
like
takes a
as far as
misstep.
like just the overall, like, cohesive whole, I think that that show it just fully it hits more than it misses as far as, like, just giving you genuine Power Ranger stuff,
I
you know,
agree.
or at least Power Ranger content that feels like Power Rangers content. And,
Yes.
like, I even think that, like, that does it in a way that Dino Charge and Beast Morphers don't, because Dino Charge and Beast Morphers kind of fall into this trap of, like, being either too safe or going too far off the beaten path into, like, really silly directions. And so where
Yeah.
certain things don't come off as cool as they probably should.
Yeah, and I think honestly there was a this feels like a writing issue for season 2 for Dino Fury specifically. Like
Yeah.
they had a plan that they had no backup plan for, and so when the original idea was shot down, they had to go back and like reshoot some things, add some stuff in just to make something make sense that absolutely doesn't make sense for any reason.
Is that what you think happened? That their original idea got shot down? Because I am under the impression, like, I was on board with, like, trying to defend Dino Fury season 2 when we were planning on doing this, but after having watched certain episodes with you last night and kind of, like, it's different to rewatch things because when you're watching something just the first time go around, your optimism is kind of, like, through the roof at the time because you don't know what to expect.
That
Something
is
could
true.
happen, and then you could, like, for example, going just bringing it back to Megaforce. Like, when I first saw that show, I gave that show a lot of breaks because I figured that by the end, all of that would, like, culminate into the big battle that we saw teased very very heavily throughout. And I still very much dislike that episode, and we'll talk about a certain element of that I have famously absolutely hated, and that this show retroactively tries to justify a certain decision that's made. So we'll get there. But yeah, with Dino Fury, I think it's like I don't know. I don't think there was a plan. I think they were absolutely like, especially coming off of Ninja Steel, like with how very much they were like, who cares? Because
Yeah.
that is basically what the show comes off as, of like the writers just kind of throwing up their hands and being like, well, the network won't let us do what we want, so we'll just throw out whatever and it'll be fine.
Well, it feels Ninja Steel specifically feels really malicious to the Power Rangers franchise. Like they really hate this show for some reason. Um,
Yeah,
and part of it is probably due to the whole Nickelodeon mandates thing, like the studio involvement and all that stuff. Like, yeah,
yeah,
I can see that absolutely being annoying for sure. But
yeah. No,
I
absolutely.
don't know
I just don't know.
because Beast Morphers was in between, and I know we forget about Beast Morphers a whole lot. Like we don't mention Beast Morphers nearly as much as I think that we should, because Beast Morphers isn't a bad show.
No.
It kind of tapered off near the end, but
Yeah.
it still delivers a lot more than I think we give it credit for.
I think so, but I agree with you as far as like I just think the overall vibe coming off of that show being like one of the better or one of the more celebrated Sentais as far as like um, trying to replicate the Power Ranger style. I think a lot of people were kind of excited about that, but I mean the
Well,
end product was kind of all over the place in terms of like where certain characters went and things like that, and I've talked about that before.
I think Beast Morphers tried to do their own thing. I don't think it was necessarily like let's stick to the formula because like the suits are different, the dynamic is different within the team. Even
Yeah,
the way the show opens is dramatically different than anything we've seen in Power Rangers previously or since. So I don't know.
hmm
I think Beast Morphers is a. I think it deserves a little more credit than what we give it, especially because it. And I
yeah.
say that as a guy who doesn't remember very much at all about Beast Morphers.
Well, there's not a whole lot to go back to for that show in particular.
I really like the first
Um,
episode. I remember
like
that.
and that is kind of like what to say. Like the first episode is the best one, I think, as far as like just giving you something. I mean, granted, I have a lot of appreciation for the wrestling episode
Yeah, it was
of
a
that
great
show because
episode.
it's the first time that we did that. But I
Yeah.
think like overall, like the show doesn't really have anything new to offer, and I think stapling it onto RPM, while I think it is justified and does work thematically for that show, I think it did rub a lot of people the wrong way.
In what way?
And so just a lot of people were like, really? Oh man, this show is connected to this great thing because I do think people overhype what RPM is
I agree.
as like thinking that it's like the holy grail and one of the best things that Power Rangers has ever made. It's not, but
It's not the most
that's how
neat.
people view it. But I also think that like because people didn't because like I said, people like we've said, people jumped off. A lot of people jumped off after Overdrive. Nobody
Yeah.
watched Jungle Fury. And
Yeah.
then RPM, that was kind of like an internet darling kind of thing because like that was around the time that like they were doing the first reset of MMPR because they've done another one this year,
Yeah.
um, and
Whew.
I think for a lot of people, it was a lot of feelings of like, oh, this is over. So then they decided to give that one a shot, or to look fondly on that one because it's the last one. They were doing so well. Disney is such great things at Power Rangers. I never realized it before, kind of thing. It's kind of the goodwill that Samurai had when they came back.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's always the like last seasons that have this regard, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
for Lost Galaxy, for RPM, like you were saying. So I
yeah.
think I think the only one that's not really gonna have that is gonna be Dino Fury, because Cosmic Fury was exclusively a Netflix thing. Um,
Yeah.
but man, Dino Fury season 2 specifically, there's not a lot that show gives you that's going to be like remembered fondly. At least not in the rewatch that we did recently.
No,
I don't.
no, absolutely not. I think that you and I were kind of under the impression that like when we saw like because I remember when we watched Dino Fury in season 1 and season 2, and I was telling you about midway through season 2 that like this is good stuff. Like I really like what we're doing here, but let's see because all these seasons for the last like decade have fallen off near the end. So let's see if they can actually land because we've had that problem before.
Well, see, Dino Fury didn't start all that strong either. Like where Beast Morphers and
That's
even
true.
had solid first episodes, Dino
Mm,
Fury does not.
that's true. I think comparatively, and I think you chose those two because those are technically the Hasbro seasons.
For what? No, those are just the predecessors of Dino Fury. That was the only reason I was like,
Okay.
I
Oh,
can
okay.
say
Okay.
the thing about Dino Charge that they had a great first
No,
episode. I wasn't really into the Day of the Dumpster remake for Megaforce.
I liked it as a good like homage kind of thing.
I mean, but I think that the whole homage concept of Power
But
kind of
these
falls back,
shows kind of
really been to the detriment of the show.
that's true. We've talked about how I think one of the worst things that Neo Saban tried to do was like really bank on nostalgia
Yeah,
and just failed miserably. Like,
it was
and
making
it's just such a bizarre thing to watch because I do think that like I liked um, I liked the first episode of Megaforce, and to an extent, like all of these seasons that have strong starts, you can see the potential that's there. And the issue with Dino Fury is that like we don't start on the highest note
yeah,
because it is just kind of like we're going through the motions kind of thing.
yeah,
And again, I think that was by design because when that show started, it was still on Nickelodeon. They still wanted to treat this like a cartoon. We're not gonna put our best foot forward. So
but
we'll
that's
just get through this, and it'll be whatever.
like the nostalgia factor. This show is not written for the people who would appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Like
That is true.
because it is a cartoon, because it is made for a much younger audience than say Lost
Yeah,
Galaxy or even RPM was. Then like the people who would appreciate these callbacks and
yeah.
the nostalgia, they're not into the show, so it seems like a waste of time.
No, I agree with you. Like that, Samurai had that issue. Megaforce had that issue.
Yeah,
Um, and
yeah,
Dino Fury also like, oh well, Beast Morphers to an extent, and also Dino Fury like that was one of those things of like this show's been on for 30 years, guys. Like
yeah,
when Samurai came out, it was like we're back to basics. It's going back to Saban. This is going to be great. This is going to be amazing. So I think you had like a whole legion of older fans that wanted to see what that was going to be, and to have them basically write a dumbed down version of the show for like little like younger audiences. Like that
yeah,
was the reason that I hated Last Laugh, the Megaforce episode, because like we're supposed to be taking this seriously, but this is for like toddlers.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's also not the worst episode of Power Rangers. We would get that
That
in the deal.
that is true. That is true. We would get that later in Ninja Steel because it is a betrayal, as we've said. But I'll leave the floor to you as far as talking about Dino Fury season 2 because
I
you
did
said that
watch all of it.
you watched all of it. I only watched a few episodes
Yeah,
over the last 24 hours, and we'll talk about some of the other
yeah,
things. But there's a I think you and I both had said that the finale is bad, but I think the reason that the finale is bad does it like have a shockwave effect on the rest of the show and my perception of the rest of it,
that's
and
very
that's
true.
kind of disappointing.
Because like rewatching the show and knowing where we're going makes it
Hmm.
1,000 times worse, man. I don't know what it
Right,
is.
right.
Like I don't know why. That's why I say like it feels like a rewrite. It feels like we have no idea what we were going to do with this season right up until
Hmm.
uh, episode. I'm going to say because it's episode 12 that we actually introduce or that we actually finally get Amelia talking about. I'm trying to find my parents because all we get in the first season is Pop Pop talking about her parents were lost. That doesn't translate to I'm trying to find my parents. It's not like Tyler trying to find his dad in episode 1.
Right, yeah.
Charge, like that's his motivation the entire season. Like, and the reason that doesn't work is because halfway through Supercharge, we just end it. It's over.
That's true. Yeah,
same thing with like Brody. Like, he thinks his dad is dead, so that's not his motivation at all, and that's fine. You know, when he comes back, then it can be a huge thing. And same thing could have been done for Amelia, as far as I'm concerned. But like, the season opens with her running Buzz Blast because Jane and Jayborg are out of the office for exactly 10 minutes. Like, it doesn't matter at all. But
yeah.
The story also just is just letting you. It expects you to take everything just as it is. Like Void Knight coming back, despite having been blown to hell at the finale. Like, he's fine. His human form is fine. The entire reason that he does the screen thing with Mucus and Slither is because they don't know what he looks. They don't know that he's humanoid.
Human.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Right, yeah.
For anybody who hasn't seen Beast Morphers or Dino Fury in the last 3 years is what we said.
Yeah, started in 22. So yeah.
And that episode is annoying for a ton of different reasons. But man, we give Supercharge a lot of shit for being a giant reset button in episode 1. Numero uno.
Yeah.
For Dino Fury, season 2, episode 1 is Jesus Christ. They have no idea. Like they were just like, everything's back, because even the fact that Jane and Jayborg are gone for the first half of the episode doesn't matter at all, dude.
Yeah.
He's like,
well, it's funny.
For a couple more months, and Amelia's like, months, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is going to be a thing. No.
Yeah, because that's what I thought was going to happen. Because I had said when we were watching the first season that like this show doesn't need Jane and Jayborg. Like, we had Mucus and Slither, and those were kind of our comic relief duo.
Yeah.
For the show, you don't need 2 of those.
Our completely useless comic relief duo, but like,
yeah.
I do think Mucus and Slither are probably the funnier and more necessary comic relief duo in the show.
Yeah.
Because we did have that episode, the 2-parter where they go back to RAFCON, where we just cut to Jane and Jayborg doing this Nerf dart competition for no reason.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't add anything, and it actually takes away from the episode because of the stuff that we do in the second half of that 2-parter. Oh my god! But
yeah, it's really bad.
Before we even get there, we ruin a lot of the character. Like, Ion was not written very well to begin with. When he came in, talk about, I should be the leader, and then 5 minutes later, never mind, being a leader's hard. You do it.
Yeah, I would rather just eat.
Yeah, I would rather just eat, which we do, I guess, somewhat consistently in the show. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but like, I guess Ion
talks about
the slacker one.
He talks about wanting snacks, and yeah, you're right. I think that like him being the slacker guy doesn't make sense with that kind of backstory.
Right, with his character, that doesn't make any sense at all. Like, if it was Javi, I'd probably be fine with it. But I do think it's kind of, Javi doesn't really get a character. It's
yeah, he's background ranger
there, and I guess that's fine. He doesn't do anything stupid. It's not like I say that, but the entire thing about him meeting that one musician dude who's not Levi Weston. Why couldn't it have been Levi Weston? Like, that makes way more sense to have that guy than introduce this other character that we've never seen before that showed up for one scene. Whatever. But his whole spiel about the views were there and then they were gone. I don't know what happened. And the guy's just like, oh, okay. Well, I'm here. We might as well play a song. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's weird. He was he was totally on board to like sue them, and then he has like the conversation of like, I don't know what happened. He's like, oh, okay, you're genuine with that.
Yeah, I believe
Like
you all of a
what?
sudden. Okay, sure thing, man. But
It's okay. They played the music. It's fine.
yeah, exactly. Like, listen to the tune. It's absolutely fine, you guys. It's so stupid. That episode really irritated me, but not nearly as bad as the uh, when they introduced the Pocket Smash Sword. And Ion's an idiot the whole time. All he ever says is, "Trust me." The entire episode, he doesn't learn anything by the end of it. He's just like, "Oh, I know how to take care of the Pocket Smash Sword." Paka, I don't care.
Yeah, it's Pekka.
It's Paka, but when we finally do get to the like story stuff, it's episode 12. 12
Yeah.
episodes. Like we have to wait 11 episodes in season 1 to get Amelia's parents are missing, and then 12 episodes into season 2 before she's like, I've been looking for my parents this whole time. It's like, no,
Yeah.
you were looking for freaking Bigfoot. What are you talking about?
She wants to prove that the impossible exists, which, as I told you last night, doesn't make any sense in the Power Rangers universe at all.
Yeah, because we've seen aliens.
Yeah.
They talk about it a lot. Like for them to be down the street from Coral Harbor, the Beast Morphers city, they where episode 1, Mayor Daniels is like Rita Repulsa, Sledge, Galvanax, all from freaking space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh, aliens and ghosts, I'm gonna prove they exist. It's like, okay. I mean,
yeah.
I can help you.
Well, like, didn't I mean, we've had Sasquatch characters before. That's also a thing.
That's true. Yeah. I mean,
so
maybe
like, it's such a weird like what?
Potentially not in this universe.
Well, no, because like it was. I mean, because we had Norg, and we had Blufer in Megaforce.
Oh yeah.
So like we've had guys like that before, and like Fury was like seen throughout history. I mean, granted that was a different universe, but still.
Yeah, I was gonna say where there's no telling where these universes, because I don't know how many. There are like 4 or 5 that could potentially exist. I know you were under the impression there were only 2, but that doesn't make any sense for a multitude of reasons.
Well, there's technically 3 now, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. There's way too much going on to even think about that, especially in this show where we're so focused on doing the callbacks and the like legendary ranger stuff that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Like we do the whole thing with the festival where in episode 2 where Ion and Zato, the team wants to throw them a birthday party.
Yeah.
And Solon tells them about this like planet-wide holiday on RAFCON. I don't understand how any of that works, but that's fine. It's a planet-wide festival called the Three Suns Festival, I think is what it's called. Triple Sun Festival, some such, where everybody gets a gift. It's like it's Christmas, but it's for their birthday. I'm so confused.
Yeah.
It's clearly supposed to be Christmas, but no.
We'll do the Christmas episode later. It'll be fine.
You know why? It's so that we can do the stupid cake thing and have it make sense.
Yeah. They wanted that cake bit at the end.
They really wanted that cake bit, man. I don't understand, but like their whole thing was like Ion screws up Zato's gift and then gives up his gift as if that's going to help. And they talk about the Mega Morph cycles from Ninja Steel. Talking about we can make that. Well, I mean, they bring up like the Fire Smasher and the one weapon from Ninja Storm that I don't care about, and ultimately end with that section of them being like, we need to build a motorcycle. It's like, okay,
yeah, it's really weird that's our lead in for that. Yeah, it's bizarre.
And they do use it, I guess, somewhat effectively, but like even, the design doesn't make any sense for them to get Megamorph Cycle out of that thing. Because first of all, it's a trike. It's got 3 wheels, and it's a big wheel. Like the excuse me, the front tire is so much bigger than the other 2 in the back. And I don't know where they got this idea of this. And she's like, Solon's like, I don't have the parts to make this motorcycle, but she built this thing out of this one tiny little motorcycle that they gave. I'm assuming they bought Ion because there's no way they built that thing.
Mm.
It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I don't know. She's an engineer. Didn't she make the Zords? Oh no. The Zords are from the Morphin Masters. That's right.
Yeah. But they do the. I don't know. There's a lot of Ninja Steel isms in the show that, like in episode 3 when Solon's getting her update. That's the thing. Like she's downloading an update that's going to make her. I don't know.
Yeah, because she's a robot dinosaur. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a robot dinosaur, so clearly she needs an upgrade. I don't know, every 6 months or whatever. It doesn't make any sense. Like it's alien technology, but Ollie's like, no, I'm finishing her upgrade. And I'm like, what do you know about?
That's a good point. I didn't think about that, but that's a good point. I mean, granted, we don't really know where Solon came from. She's just in the base.
That's true. Yeah, we don't know if Zato built her or if she's like an alien species that came from a different planet and just assimilated itself to the dinosaur.
Because we know she's part dinosaur, part robot. So like, but she can talk. Like I don't know what the thing is with that.
Yeah, I also don't know if it's like telepathic. Like I know we have the. Actually, no, I take that back because we do have characters, especially mentors, that often have like the animatronic head, their lips still move, but hers don't when she's talking. So I don't know if it's supposed to be like telepathic.
I think that's kind of just like a design choice thing because like that's just a thing with like all of the villains is that like sometimes the lips will move and most of the time they won't, and I think that's more or less just like a dubbing translation thing. They were like, okay, it's going to kind of look like that because what we're saying that they say is not what they say in the Japanese footage. So like we'll just kind of we have to live with that. That's how it is.
But the rest of the team, or I should say the team, is all against Solon. Like, oh, maybe your update didn't make you any better or some such nonsense. And it's like, why did you give it to her?
Yeah.
They have this thing, like the entire point of the first few episodes of the show is let's find Rafcon, right? So Solon gives them coordinates to search, and they're like, we can't find it. But when she wakes up from her update, she is like, oh well, I made a miscalculation. Let's do these new coordinates that I gave because planets and stars tend to move around a lot in 65 million years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so, like, that moment makes them all distrust or, like, they kind of belittle her for the rest of the episode, even though we're looking for sporks, but it was just a pickle.
Oh, yeah. The pickle episode.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's kind of the weird thing about this show is that the villains are written really well.
Yes.
And not a whole lot else is really written well,
They're goofy, but they are consistent, and I think that's the thing. Yeah, that's really what sets them apart from the heroes specifically, because the heroes are so dramatically inconsistent. Like you see Zato specifically, and you witness this. Anytime somebody says something, his mood just flips immediately. It doesn't matter what he's going through, which we'll get to that in just a second. It doesn't matter what just happened. If somebody says something else, that's the emotion that we're going with.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah, like you were saying, I don't know if I don't think he's an actor. Like it's just kind of like a weird, like, yes, you stand right here and react to what people are saying. Like that seems like first year rookie level stuff, kind of just like, and.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. It's like,
yeah,
it's so stupid. and I feel bad, but like the performance is bad. It's bad all the time. The
Yeah,
whole time.
bad. It is really bad. Yeah.
He might be the worst Red Ranger of all time. Of all time. Like people like to give shit
Yeah.
to Troy. We've said this before. People like to give shit to Troy, but man, Andrew Gray
Mhm.
knew what he was doing,
Yeah. No,
and
it
that
was
guy
it was
wasn't.
intentional as far as like that before. Yeah, and yeah, no, he wasn't an actor. And yeah, you could tell, but like it was that they understood the assignment, right? They were just like,
Yeah,
do Jason.
yeah.
That is what that is your goal here. And he
And
did it to the best of his ability. He is one of the better Ranger voices, honestly.
right, and he's clearly seen the show before. Like
Yeah. Yeah,
he
absolutely.
knows who Austin St. John is. He's seen Mighty Morphin at the very least. So like
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
I know you really hate Mac and Nick, but come on, Zato is
On a performance level, I think that Mac is pretty good. The writing doesn't support him. Like as far as like the Pinocchio thing, like I it, and that it's more or less just my frustration with like how all of that stuff was handled. Him as an actor, like I thought the performance was relatively believable up until we got into the twist thing that pissed me off. And as far as like Nick is concerned, I don't know about him actually. Like he was able to sell it, and he had a good enough Ranger voice to like when he's in costume, it mostly works. It's just like literally everything else that they have him do that is not it's not great, you know.
but they have levels,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying.
And the fact that he's like the focal point of the show, it does create a problem, I think.
I mean,
But
there,
that's a different thing than what Zato's doing, which like yeah, the acting is so bad. Like it's not even like it's wooden. It's far beyond that.
yeah,
Because like you were saying, like everything he says has the exact same inflection.
yeah.
The
If
exact same.
no matter what,
Yeah, and it's just so weird to me.
it's bad.
Yeah, no,
It's,
it's
I
not
do think
great.
it's the worst, but there is an argument to be made that Zato is not the focus of the show, which does create
Mm.
this problem of what are we supposed to focus on in the show. That's why I think the villains are the most entertaining
Yeah,
and best part of the show is because they're consistent the entire time.
that's that's true. Absolutely, that's true. Because they
Even
know what they're doing, and the Rangers don't. Like
they
most of
don't,
the time, as far as like they're at the complete whim of whatever the script says we're doing in this episode is what we're doing.
you know, man. And I don't know what happened. I don't know why. Like rewatching the season made it so much worse. But I do think that
Mm-hmm.
like just knowing where we're going,
Mm-hmm.
it makes a whole lot of things not make sense. Especially since like again we focus so heavily on the let's find Rapcon stuff that everything else kind of takes a back seat up until we get there. Like there is there's a straight through line with the villains, with Tarek reviving Santora, with Santora wanting revenge on the humans. We don't fully
Yeah,
understand why, but like we know that she was dead for the first season, so like there's something there, that
yeah.
we
She's saying like, "Oh, what they took from us," you know. So
yeah.
there's like some justification for what she's doing, and even then, Tarek's not on board with it. He has
Yeah,
to be brainwashed. Like that. That's what you were saying.
exactly.
Like there's a straight line. Like action, consequence. Like everything leads into the next thing.
Yeah.
That's not how really the Rangers are handled at all.
No. No.
Like
Like
with the exception of Izzy,
yeah, but she's
everything
not
else is kind
in the
of all over the
show.
place. Yeah, yeah,
That's the problem is that Izzy is the most consistently written and best written character on the show, and the performance
yeah,
is solid, dude. Like she is
yeah. It's
acting
really
so
great.
close on everybody in that show, or I should say, on the team.
Yeah, yeah.
Like she was clearly supposed to be the most important part of this season, and you can blame the studio or whoever the producers. Maybe it
Hmm.
didn't test well with audiences. I don't really care about that, but
I
that's
mean, considering. considering how Nickelodeon's handled some other things, I'm inclined to believe that it's more or less they looked at it and were like, yeah, we're gonna move away from this.
Right. Because her relationship with Fern is easily the best part of the show.
Yes.
It's the best episode of the show, possibly the best episode of Power Rangers. I mean, I'm gonna pin that for right now, but man, it's great.
It's definitely the best episode that we've had in like the last 15 years.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me. Things Unspoken. That was episode 17. We jumped ahead a little bit. Man, it's so.
Just a touch.
It's so.
But it's just really solid. Like somebody on the writing staff really cared about that stuff in particular and didn't care about everything else.
Nope, nothing else. We can afford to get this giant whipped cream prop, but man, when it comes to writing, we're gonna cut all the corners. But that's why I'm saying, like, I think Izzy was supposed to be the baby.
Yeah,
I really do. I honestly do, man. I think Izzy was supposed to be Izzy, possibly Javi, but like, there's got to be a reason that they're step siblings, right? And they make that clear in the like, it's Javi's mom and Izzy's dad. There's no explanation, or there's no explanation for how their family came together or whatever.
Yeah. There's like one line here and there about like how they met each other when they were younger, and it's like a weird thing. But like as far as their like whole family dynamic, they don't really talk about certain things like who is the parent of who. We don't really know that part.
Yeah, or why they got together in the first place. Why both of their parents happen to be single at the same time.
Yeah. I don't know about that if she was supposed to be the baby. I know, like, just based on the clues of everything, they wanted to do something with Amelia. I just don't know what they just clearly didn't know what that was.
No, I don't think there were any clues. That's the thing that I'm saying. Like, we don't focus on it at all heavily enough for it to be important.
That's true. Yeah, I don't think we ever get like a solid like one shot of Amelia when it comes to that stuff.
No, and it's always to the end of the episode, and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Because like Unsolved,
I mean that kind of
episode 12, which I jump ahead just a little bit. She gets an alert talking about somebody spotted Bigfoot in Pine Ridge. She asks Jane to go cover it, and Jane's like, "No, that's stupid." And she's like, "I'm going to do it anyway with my plucky interns." Stan and Annie.
Yeah.
But immediately gets called away. She gives them a file that she has on Bigfoot, and one of the articles is like, Bigfoot built Dinohenge. Let's go to Dinohenge. I'm like, oh my God, she's such an idiot. Why would you do that? First of all, why would you give them that information? Second of all, why would you leave them to their own devices to come and find you, especially when you're trying to keep your identity as a secret?
Yeah.
They are actively trying, but they're terrible at it. A good thing.
That's true.
Things Unspoken after Camp Counselor Garcia gets knocked down by the monster trying to save Izzy, and they all show up, but they're all unmorphed.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
That's true. Like, he called them from the track. They should know that she's there.
Right.
There's no reason for them not to show up in morphed.
Yeah, in uniform.
Other than we got to do the group thing because we can't have individual morphs.
Or even when they get called in by Commander Shaw, who's still the commander. Not important to the story at all. But when they get called, like, they're all just standing there. I guess you could argue that like she's not going to tell anybody, but they still know. And
well, again, it's consistent as far as like all Power Rangers know who they are. Like every Power Ranger knows who every Power Ranger is. And that was kind of like the initiative started by Tommy Oliver however many years ago when he started the database thing that was introduced in Dino Thunder.
It makes more sense with beast morphers. I'll give you that. Just because like Nate would know, right? He would be able.
no, and plus, like, granted, I don't know because they mentioned the whole thing about like Ranger history class. I don't know if that's like exclusively a GB thing, or if it's a worldwide global deal.
Me neither. I would probably consider it just a GB thing because they have to know, right? Like, there's no reason for anybody else to have to know that information.
Yeah, I agree.
That's just me. Sorry. Already talked about the Packazord. Is a stupid. Oh yeah, episode 5, the first episode that I could actually recommend from this season. Which I know that's your shtick, but I mean, I'm just saying. Episode 5, Stitched Up, where Izzy's mom makes her a tuxedo, and it's a huge misunderstanding. It's like, this is the first episode, and this is why Izzy is the best character in the show, is that she immediately, like, there's no conversation. Once she figures out that she made the mistake, she immediately owns up to it. She immediately tells her mom. There's nothing like, how am I going to tell my mom? It's like, no, I have to go talk to her right now.
Yeah. Well, it's all like a part of her guilt, and again, it's the Fern and Izzy thing, like that. Like, somebody really cared about that. They were wanting to make sure that there was no cracks, nothing that anybody could really say that was wrong with it, so that when people came for it, it was like, oh, okay, we know who you are. So
yeah, exactly.
We know the kind of people that aren't going to like this, and we shouldn't listen to them anyway. So it's fine.
Right, and it feels very. That's why I say, like, these clearly are the most important parts of the show. Why didn't we end with them? Why didn't they come to fruition in something important? You know what I mean?
I mean, we do something later, but like, yeah, I agree with you as far as like, there's certain clues, especially when we get to the finale, that it was supposed to be Izzy.
Yeah.
Like, like the reason of like, because if Izzy is, then we're not having this much of a discourse or an irritated conversation as far as this show is concerned, because at least they land that there was the one through line. You know, all these shows have the one through line with the one character, and at least this one was like the focal point, so it's not as bad as like Megaforce or something like that. But because they didn't do that, and they chose to actively like run away from it, as we see with what happens with Ollie and Amelia, because we gotta do the straight ship after people didn't like us doing the gay thing.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It's like, oh, we can't have the lesbians be the focus of their show, so let's create this garbage relationship with Amelia and Ollie. That way, the studio doesn't get mad. Because
it's funny because like
have any chemistry at all.
It's rough, dude, and I don't know, because like when they're interacting, you can tell that they don't have any idea what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of makes the turn of like, oh well, he actually likes her. It's like, a wait, what? Doesn't he like insult her all the time?
Yeah. And her belief system,
and it's like, no, he's fine. It's totally okay. They're actually like super in love. Which I remember when we were watching the first episode, and this was a while ago, and you had said, "Are they going to be a thing?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't think so." But yeah, no, they totally they do make that turn, and it doesn't really do anything of any significance until we get to Cosmic Fury.
Right. And oh man, especially since when we get to episode 7 in Dino Fury season 2, New Leaf, where Ollie's supposed to be better at listening. Like, he's supposed to get this like open-minded sort of arc, right? Like, they spell it out, like, you shouldn't be so dismissive of anybody's ideas, which doesn't make any sense for the character that's in that episode to say that. Whatever, man. Like, we're spelling out the moral here, and we just got to get through it. After that point, like, Amelia still gets to behave like an infant. He doesn't learn.
She does. She does have the mannerisms of like a child. It's
a
very
giant toddler.
bizarre.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what we were doing with Brody, but like 10 times worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet
Because at
she's
least Brody had the excuse of like his growth was stunted. We don't know. Like there was a thing about like, oh, she didn't grow up with parents, but she had a paternal figure.
yeah,
Pop was there,
yeah.
and she's so I don't know, man. And she has a job. Like I don't understand like
He
how
has a
she can
job.
be so infantilized to the point of like she's just standing there pouting most of the time.
Yeah, yeah. Like that's her direction. Is just it's
Yeah,
not even
just
like it's not even yeah. Her facial expression doesn't even match like what's going on. Like in what was it? In the Charm episode. I want to
oh
say
yeah,
it's
yeah.
16. Wishful thinking.
It was 16. It was the one right before
It was right after.
unspoken words.
Yeah, right after the two-parter that didn't make any sense. But
Oh,
it's so
we'll get there.
stupid. It's yeah, I was gonna say it's so stupid in that episode because she's like pouting during Javi's big performance. Everybody else is like happy and like rocking. She's rocking, but she's like she looks bored, like she's gonna fall asleep at any given
Yeah,
moment. It's
yeah.
it's so
It's
bad.
really
And
bad.
then to top it off, Ollie turns to her at the end and she's like, I'm just sad because my wish didn't come true. And he goes, well, if anybody could solve the mystery, it's you. Leaving out the fact that he doesn't believe anything she's ever
Yeah,
said at any point up until this moment.
yeah. And even then, like in that episode, he was like all game for I'm gonna buy a charm just to prove that they don't work.
Yeah. It's so stupid. Oh my God. They had no
Oh yeah,
idea.
we never get an explanation for that. By the way, why her charm thing didn't work.
Yeah, it never comes up again. That's what I'm
It
saying.
just was like
Right at
it was
the
just
end.
like, oh, why didn't my wish come true? Hell if I know. It just didn't happen.
Who cares?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's
We
stable.
gotta focus on Hobby and his like million views thing, even though a million views in this day and age is not as impressive.
No, no. It's subscribers is what you want.
Right, yeah.
Which he does eventually get anyway. We just don't focus on it. Because like at the
Yeah.
end of the season, there's somebody playing his song in a park, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're Hobby! I know you. I love your videos."
That's
It's like,
true.
okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Even though like that whole thing doesn't make any sense anyway, because Hobby goes from writing an original song to playing a cover song for a video that's supposed to get 1 million views. I'm like, as a musician,
That's a good point. Covers don't usually do as well in terms of like numbers.
right. At least not like straight covers. Like you do have like the what's his name, the metal guy who does the covers that are like in different styles.
Oh, Anthony Vincent.
Anthony Vincent. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy, like, he has a shtick that carries him through the show. But nobody cares about Hobby playing this acoustic cover.
Yeah. And it's not even like you were saying, like it needs to be Levi's song, like Levi's the pop star, but I mean that would fly in the face of like trying to acknowledge Ninja Steel or give any of the Ninja Steel Rangers any kind of airtime, because I think they realized that they fucked up with that bullshit episode.
But yeah, that whole thing doesn't make it makes me angry. And then we finally get to
but keep going.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hold on, let me flip. See what? Oh yeah, Mucus Jane and J-Borg are so entertaining. Slither too, man. Like Jesus Christ, I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
the comedy always hits, even if it doesn't matter. Like even in the wishful thinking episode where Mucus turns human.
Yeah,
like, she has a machination to betray the monster that makes the charms. I don't remember what they call him, and
yeah,
just so she can become a mushroom again.
I think it was a Hex Curio.
Proactive villain. Hex Curio, that's right. Yeah, but she like says that she's the brains of the operation, and it's meant to be a joke. But like you think about it for more than a second, she's the reason that the plot progresses in season one.
As far as the villains are concerned, yeah, it's so weird.
Right.
And that's what's so bizarre about like this show is that like the duos pretty good at providing comic relief, but this show is very, very bad at doing quipping in like mid fights.
Yeah, well,
Like
it's because
it's worse than like I've ever seen it, honestly.
yeah, no, it's really bad because there's too much of it. We spend way too much. There's way too much dialogue in these fights. Like, come on, man. RPM already said it. Less is more.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, we gotta. They gotta do a quip and then comment about the quip, and then try
Yeah.
another, and then comment on the differences between the two quips and take a vote on which quip was better. It's like Jesus Christ, guys, stop.
Can we get to the point here, right? Like,
Yeah. I know that you guys don't have anything important going on, but come on. This is
yeah,
actually painful because, like, in episode 8, that's where we start getting into like Tarek's whole motivation and getting Santora to turn into Void Queen, and him taking off and trying to, help the Rangers out. But the Rangers, the whole episode in episode 8, Serious Business, they're talking about how Buzz Blast got hacked by this child who wanted her own show.
Oh yeah,
But her jokes are terrible.
yeah, it's really bad.
Whew! And Ion's the only one laughing, even though he shouldn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
It's infuriating, dude. Like, the villains are really what carried me through the season on this most recent watch.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Like even when we get to the other things that happen later, the villains are the most like compelling and interesting part.
Yeah.
And I don't think that has ever worked out in your favor when just the villains are more compelling than like the heroes.
I'm trying to think because, like, a lot of the times when we have compelling villains, we have counterparts, like heroes that are conversely interesting as well, like with Time Force, with Jungle Fury, with Space.
Yeah.
Like, they have the best villains and the best heroes, and the stories, they're doing their own thing, but they coalesce. Like, they don't they're not each other. They're not interfering with each other while they're going on. Yes, they intersect, but they have their own stuff. Like Daishi trying to constantly upgrade, which is in parallel with every time the Rangers upgrade,
Yeah, I mean, but that's a writing choice that they made, like, or super early on. That's why that show is so good, is because the way they told the story was so densely packed together.
Yeah.
But like, even you have things like because I do think that people will throw that criticism at like MMPR, where like the heroes, the Rangers themselves are pretty bland overall. But at least like the villains are entertaining, and the Rangers are able to play off the villains really well.
Yeah. We don't really have that.
Not with this, no. Not with this.
Mostly
because the Rangers always treat the villains like they're stupid.
Yeah. Oh my god.
In Dino Fury.
Yeah.
They always are like, yeah, whatever you just said, I'm here to make a Coca-Cola commercial. It's so weird. It's so weird.
To the point where their insults don't even make any sense. Like, at one point, Amelia's, that coat makes you look like a doctor. And I'm like,
I swear to God, man. It is that DW, like, you wear glasses.
Yeah.
Like, what?
That is what it feels like. Like,
yeah.
I saw this thing on you. Okay. Was that an insult? I honestly can't tell.
Yeah.
And then to follow it up with a Zato line doesn't help at all.
No.
It's really, really bad, dude. Like, I don't know. I don't know how I could have taken this seriously at all the first time I watched it. And how bad did season 1 have to be that I actually liked this season?
That's a good point too. Like, season 1 was such like a void of like, oh.
And I was so happy when we
got when we got 14. Sorry, keep going.
I was really happy when we got to episode 14, where you jumped in and you were like, "Wow, this is really bad." And I was like, "Oh, thank God!" I thought it was just me. I really did. I was like, maybe I'm just in a really bad mood or something. Like watching
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Like maybe it's not as bad as I think it is, and no, it's worse.
Yeah, no, it's really bad, like really bad. Like
Oh
just as far as like the writing and how they decided to put the two-parter together, and that is kind of where you see that the villains being better than the heroes does really cause issues as far as like how the show's written.
yeah,
Because we got to keep these guys around, and we're gonna bring in the Morphin Masters and say that the Morphin Masters are in charge of like the reason that everything worked out for other people. Hey,
yeah. Which though, man, that two-parter was really bad. Episodes 14 and 15. Which I gotta say, I really liked the Valentine's Day episode for what it was. Like, Evil Ollie is arguably the best part of the show as a whole. So, like, when Zed comes back and he makes Ollie evil, and they actually have like a moment.
that's actually a good point. Like we're always saying that like the villains are more compelling than the heroes on this show, but like when one of the Rangers turns evil and it becomes like a big part of Cosmic Fury, all of a sudden like the guy is able to really like lock in and know how to act and know exactly how to play this character.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, again, I do think the guy playing Ollie, I can't remember his name, when he's paired off with Amelia, that's the detriment. That's where it really falls apart
Yeah.
because she doesn't give anything, and she's always right for some reason.
Yeah, that's true. She's just kind of like,
even in
and
the
you're just
episode
like,
where Jane and Jayborg see a freaking ghost, at the end of the episode, when it's revealed to be an illusion, a literal illusion by a magician, she's like, I'll find a ghost one day. Dude, how many things have to be disproven before you actually learn something? Like it in
yeah.
season
And
one.
if it was brought in for like a character reason, but again, we can't do that because we need to have the mystery element. So we can't give too much away because mystery. It's literally the same thing that happened with Rey in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like we can't give her too much of a characterization because that requires that we delve into her backstory and give her motivation. We can't do that because it gives up the ghost too quickly. So we're just going to be like she's just kind of wandering around or dragged through scenes. That is Amelia.
I get that they're trying to keep the ghost, but like, excuse me, they're trying to keep the other foot from dropping too soon, but like, it has to make sense. When she turns into a little kid, like that's not the last time she saw her parents. She should turn into a baby.
Well, I think that would make sense if the reason she got turned into a child had anything to do with anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's literally just written so that she doesn't get to morph.
Yeah, and the consequences are so stupid. That's the thing, right? Like Mucus getting turned into a human. I get it's made for comedy, but like it makes sense because she finds humans disgusting. Which again is a joke, but like, come on, it makes sense at the very least.
Yeah, for her as a character, like that makes sense.
Having Izzy turn into a smaller version of the T-Rex sword doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Why? Especially since she didn't make the wish.
Yeah, yeah. It's really weird. But they're still trying to play like that Javi's whole thing is like really important.
Which it is to him, and I get that. But again, what you said, it's like when Sarah won the trophy in Need for Speed and Ninja Steel, or I think it was Super Steel. She was like, hey, I give this back because I'm not proud of how I won this. It's just incredibly vague and doesn't make sense in the scene. Like, yeah, we know what happened as the audience. We got to see it, but these people, they have to have a reasonable explanation.
Right, yeah.
And they're either not willing to do that or incapable of doing that.
Well, I think doing that would kind of like they don't want to confuse the audience of children that are watching.
I suppose.
Which again, I think is bad in and of itself, but yeah.
And then, of course, like at the end of the the mysterious mysteries of mystery episode, we finally get Amelia talking about, I'm looking for my parents. Okay, we should have been focused on this way earlier. Way earlier. It should have been brought up at
Yeah.
least one freaking time. Like, her parents are gone. Okay, fine. I'm looking
Or like do it in the first episode. When
Yeah.
when Zato's talking about I need to find my people, I need to find my planet. Like you could introduce this idea there. She's like, I understand how you feel. I'm also looking for my family because I don't remember a whole lot about them and blah 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 whatever.
But instead,
Like
we
there's
got
a way you can write this, but it's ugh.
again either unwilling or incapable, because there are ways to do it. But and it doesn't make any sense for Jane to leave Amelia in charge anyway. She doesn't like any of her ideas.
Exactly. That was pointed out in the first episode, like when she's like, no, it's whatever.
Yeah.
And like she clearly knows who Pop Pop is. That's how she got the job. Like there's a way that you can write this, but it's like, oh, it's whatever. We'll do. It's fine.
Yeah. It would also help if it was like the Daily Bugle instead of like YouTube, because she's not
it's BuzzFeed.
Yeah, it's BuzzFeed, but like she's not an investigative reporter. They don't do one thing. They're a sketch show essentially, like Smosh.
Right, yeah. Well,
like
exactly, yeah.
They do a whole bunch of different things. Like Izzy does a workout thing for some reason. We're doing the.
I don't know why Izzy does that, because she doesn't work there.
Yeah, but I mean, they bring in consults all the time. What doesn't make any sense is having Pop make the blueberry pie. That's not a pie; it's a tart. But whatever.
Pavlova.
Yeah, the Pavlova. That's all it exists for. So we can get that one shot of Jay Borg getting hit in the face with a pie.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Power Rangers. They love their food gags.
Yes, they do. Giant blueberries. No more cakes, for the love of God.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, well, we have to do the Flargan thing. And then, of course, all right. So now we get into episode 14.
Yeah.
The two-parter of what exactly is going on, because we now go back to Let's Find Rafcon.
Mm-hmm.
And they successfully find Rafcon, and they know that Zed is there trying to do something, but they don't know what initially. All we get is Ion talking about, I'm supposed to defeat Zed. Doesn't matter how.
Yeah, he was told by the Green Morphin Master when he was like woken up in the deep sea after being lost for 65 million years that he needed to be awakened because he's the key to stopping Zed. And so now he's like, I'm going to go fight Zed. I can win because she said I could win.
I'm on a mission from God.
Exactly. And he says it so much that like the other Rangers are like, shut up, dude.
Yeah. They do that to Ion a lot, though, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
because
so Jesus.
Like, shut
Would you classify it as like character assassination considering how he was introduced, or is it just how that show's written?
I don't think he has enough character to be assassinated, personally.
It's fair.
Because again, like it's on a dime where he's like, I want to be in charge. Never mind. It's like when Matt gave up his morpher. He's like, I don't want to be a Power Ranger anymore. Runs off and then comes back like 5 minutes later. Give me my morpher back. And both times the dad's like, okay, that's it. There's no conversation.
Yeah, that's fair, actually.
But instead, like, they find Zed and Ion gets his ass kicked. Because
like, quickly. It's such a weird thing because, like, the other Rangers seem to understand how dangerous this is because they've tangled with Zed before. I can't remember because like, Ion was not introduced when they did the Halloween episode in the first season, right?
I actually don't remember. Hold on, let me look. Because I honestly have no idea. All right, so let's see. When the superstitious strikes, Jesus Christ.
It's a bad one.
No, yeah, you're right. Zed was introduced before Ion came in.
Yeah, so they know exactly what they're dealing with, and they're like, dude, you do not understand, man. We watched this guy beat a monster to death with his bare hands.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
oh man.
And so, but he's like, she said it's my destiny, and it's not even like he's not doing it right in a way to where it's like, yes, he fully believes this. This is how he was. This is his purpose. This is what he was brought back for. It's literally like I can win because she said I can.
Yeah, because
That's how he plays it.
It's in the script, even though we already did this with Ollie specifically when Zed was introduced the first time. He was like,
That is true.
Let's
That's
go.
true. Solon had to be like, nah, you don't want to tangle with this guy, man.
Yeah, you don't want the smoke. I'm telling you right now.
Because when they introduce him, because we as the audience have never seen Zed go full bore until that compliance collar comes off, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Like for 30 years, it was like, you don't want to mess with, like, look at that guy. You don't want to mess with that guy. Even when he was fighting Tommy, Tommy's like getting tired and like doing everything he can. Zed's having a great time, man. He's like, what? I could kill you, but that's too easy. I want to have fun with this.
Right.
And even then, like a lot of the time with Zion, especially like the reason he shoots at Zion is because Scruzzle pissed him off before Ion showed up.
Yeah.
He's so like, my fucking plan's not working. You said this was gonna work. I was like, well, maybe it needs time. You these incompetent people, and then he's like, I will defeat you. He's like, motherfucker, I'll just take you out. It's fine.
Yeah. He knocks him out of his morph state immediately. And then
one shot. That's all it takes. One shot for both of those guys.
Well, it took two for Zato just because he had the battleizer. Like, we had to have him blow up Sizzler or whatever the monster.
Right, after just a misfire. Literally did that by accident. Killed another guy.
He obliterated him.
Yeah.
The Rangers were like, now's our chance. I was like, you guys got lucky. Little did I know, right, that as soon as they're finished with that fight and go meet up with Zato and Ion, they're about to be blown to smithereens.
Yeah.
Deus Ex Machina in the most blatant way possible.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad.
The
green Morphin Master.
Solon's like, hey, welcome back, guys. And they're like, thanks for saving our asses. Solon's like, I didn't do anything. What are you guys talking about? And then the Green Morphin Master shows up. And she heals Zato because he almost dies because, it's Zed. And, what you were saying, that guy was able to get by on the look alone for 30 years. But when he finally is shown to be exactly as powerful as they say he is, man, it's intense and it's awesome.
Yeah.
The villains are absolutely the best part of this show.
For sure.
And then Ion is like, I'm sorry I let you down. Instead of, in that guy's character, he should be like, you told me I could beat Zed. What the hell?
Yeah.
Instead,
I couldn't beat that guy.
Sorry I let you down. Like, okay, man. That's the problem with Ion's character is like his story flips so hard. It's kind of like Zato's emotions, right? But his arcs go back and forth so fast. Like there's nothing to lead it from one to the other. Anyway, Zato's like dead, and she brings him back, and she gives him this sword. She gives him the sword, talking about this is the thing that you need to defeat Zed.
Yeah, she does it after the fact, after they've already tangled with this guy twice.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll give you guys. And what's funny is that when Ion's like, I'm sorry I failed you, and she's like, you didn't fail me. Your team was not equipped.
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't learn anything, dude. I'm telling you.
Like that is the most like anti-teamwork message I've ever heard. Like, you didn't fuck up. These guys just literally are rookie level. Like they weren't going to help you at all. Even though this was the guy who ran in head first when they were like, we should probably come up with a strategy, right?
Yeah. Maybe you cost us the element of surprise. No, never mind. Jesus said it was cool. It's so bad, dude.
Yeah.
But I didn't take it like that. I took it because what she says is your team didn't have the arsenal necessary to to defeat Zed, and I'm like, oh, okay, so we didn't have the proper toy. Gotcha.
Well, the reason I took issue with it is because he's like, I'm sorry that I let you down. And she says, your team is not equipped. This has nothing to do with you going in half cocked and almost getting yourself killed. This has everything to do with your team not being equipped enough to handle this situation, even though I told you personally that you could do this by yourself.
Yeah. See, and I do think that the original idea was to have that guy die. Like she brought him back
Maybe.
specifically so he could be sacrificed. That's why they do the whole thing with the sword, talking about whoever defeats the sword has to die also. And it's like, okay, cool. I can get behind that. But
Yeah.
no. Especially since we do the final strike with the sword not once but twice before we get to the finale, and those guys are fine.
Yeah, yeah.
It's absolutely infuriating. And so we go back to Zed. He steals the Sporks machine. He's going to release the Sporks on Earth. And man, the Voids are they're completely useless in this story.
Well, that happened in the first episode, or the first when Zed was reintroduced in the first season. Like, as soon as that guy showed up, we forgot about the rest of the villains.
Yeah, it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Oh my god. So
yeah, and then is that when the blue one comes in, or does that happen later?
The blue one. What? Oh, no, that was during their whole spiel about. That was when she brought Zato back to life, or healed him, or whatever. And that's when Blue comes in, and he's like, "What the hell? We're not supposed to be here." Which
we're not supposed to be interfering with human affairs, even though that she admits that she's been saving people for the past like 30 years.
Yeah, however long Rangers.
She doesn't explicitly say like Kendricks and well, I mean they do bring up Steel.
Yeah, they do bring up Steel.
But I think it's heavily implied like she's the reason that Robo Knight came in at the end of Legendary Battle.
And how Kendricks came back to life after she got blown to hell during the Dark Saber saga in Lost Galaxy.
Yeah. That's another thing. That's another reason I thought that the pink is more powerful as a color.
Yeah.
Because it was the pink energy from Cassie's Morpher that caused that massive explosion that killed her.
Yeah, but
because in the same show, Leo does like a full point blank range blast in his battleizer, and he walks out of that.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say I've seen a Red Ranger go Super Saiyan, so I don't know how to quantify that.
Yeah, but that didn't have anything to do with his powers, though. He wasn't morphed when that happened.
So,
I mean, granted, we don't know why that happened. If they bothered to explain it at all, we could have a better conversation about this. But I mean,
I just like Vrock is back. That's my.
Vrock is back is great stuff. But I mean, I've talked about it enough. It's fine. We'll keep going. We got to talk about this. We got to go from a really good two-parter that we both enjoyed to this really bad two-parter that pissed us both off.
Yeah, because Zed puts a shield around himself and the Sporks machine after Scrozzle takes off, which I don't think we see that guy again. I just realized, and for the rest of the season,
is he just gone after that? Leaves. Oh, interesting.
I don't remember him coming back in the last 5 episodes of this show. Huh? But
that is weird. Yeah,
he's got the shield, and the Rangers use all of their power to try to break it. Doesn't work. The battleizer, the motorcycle, doesn't work. Even Ion is like, let me try the saber. I can break it with the final attack. And they're like, no, but you'll die. And he's like, yeah. But
it's a risk I'm willing to take.
And for absolutely no reason, the Green Morphin Master shows up and finishes the fight for them. Like, she breaks the shield. She defeats Zed. They just stand there.
Yeah, all Ion contributes to that fight is hitting Zed in the back with the sword once.
Yeah, which is such a heel.
Which is something that any of them could have done with just their regular swords.
Yeah, But we have to show off the action figure, dude.
Yeah. We got to do the
Oh,
power up thing. I forget
and
what they called it.
the freaking red and blue Morphin Masters show up, like, because Green has been encased in this crystal with Zed,
Yeah.
which is something that I'll have to bring up at the end of this discussion. But
Okay.
they're like, you guys were right. That's it. That's the whole conversation. They were like, we were wrong. The rule was wrong. We've been
Yeah,
too
us
green.
not being able to go into or to deal with human affairs, even though that doesn't make any sense. Like
Right.
the Morphin Masters as a concept doesn't make any sense after Beast Morphers.
Horribly flawed. Yeah, especially after Beast Morphers, where they're like, we tapped into the morphing grid. Where even Jungle Fury, where they were like, yeah, we tapped into the morphing grid so I can make these morphers. RJ in his freaking living room.
Yeah, dude. It doesn't make any sense. Like if you wanted to say that the Morphin Masters are here to protect the grid after what happened in Beast Morphers, that's totally fine. But the idea is that the Morphin Masters have been here for the entire time.
Whole time.
Which doesn't make any sense that we haven't seen them up until this point, considering that like we literally saw the grid. We've seen the grid like multiple times.
Yeah, multiple times we've seen. It's supposed to be like a thing. It's supposed to be like an entity, like the Leviathan in Hellraiser. That's the way I choose to see it. Because that's what I thought these guys were. Like it'd be fine if they were like agents of the grid, but no, they're supposed to protect this thing. If they were like the Cenobites and they like worked for the grid in its best interest,
that would have made more sense because at least then we would understand why they're showing up now.
Right.
The fact that they're supposed to protect this thing, and we've had like several instances of Rangers turning evil over the past 30 years. These guys did a terrible job at protecting this fucking thing.
They suck, especially if they're so easily influenced. And I think that is the problem, is that they're inherently flawed, what you said, as a concept. It makes no sense. And they come off way too human. Also, because that's all it takes is a conversation for them to be like, huh, maybe you're right. But no, they should be like...
Well, I think...
what I was saying, if the Green Morphin Master had brought Ion back to die, and then the rest of the Rangers be like, well, can't you bring him back? It's like, no, that was why he was brought back, so he could...
Yeah, that was the deal.
Yeah.
That
was the only way that this could have ended well. Then it would have made more sense, because then they're not human. Then they don't have the morals that the Rangers have. They're good for the sake of good. You know what I mean?
Well, and this was going back to your point earlier of like the reason that conversation is so very like, oh, okay, well, they're just wrong now, or they realize that they're wrong. The reason that plays so hollow is because it happens really quick. And that's just because we paced the hell out of this episode to just race to the end because we spent the first half of this two-parter doing the weird dart game nonsense that had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah. We wasted a good 5 minutes on that. Like, it took way too long.
Yeah.
They had nothing. Like, they're not even on the same planet. And we keep cutting back to that. It has no bearing on the episode at all. I think it was just a contractual obligation to have Jane and Jay Borg in X amount of episodes. And that's why...
That's probably true. That might be what it is, and that which is a Saban, like that's the Saban special, right? That's the we gotta have the comic relief in every episode.
Well, I don't think it's strictly a comic relief thing. It goes across the board because that's why you get these scenes where everybody's just standing around.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Things Unspoken, where everybody's there for no reason. Like it makes sense for Javi to be there. It even makes sense for Ollie to be there. But to have the entire team have to go around the circle and say something, we don't need that.
It's really bad. Yeah, it's really bad.
Not everybody needs to be in every scene. Jesus Christ. That was one of the biggest problems that Dinosaurs had.
Yeah, and we talked about this last night, and this goes into like Words Unspoken. Like the reason that works so well is because literally when it's two characters talking, the show's actually pretty good. And this has just been a consistent thing with Power Rangers for the past like 20 years, or for the past like 15 years. Like
Well, I
even
don't
when
know.
the shows are bad, when they do one-on-ones, they're usually more effective than just like let's go around the room and talk about this one thing that has to do with this one character.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know if you noticed. That's why Izzy's the best written character, is because she gets most of the one-on-one interactions out of everybody. She goes to her mom by herself to admit that she's fucked up the dress.
That's
She
true, yeah.
goes and has the conversation with Fern at the bus stop by herself. Like, that's character development. That's all I want.
Yeah, and even like when she has that conversation with her dad before then, like
Yeah.
they're by herself because she's giving him a splint.
Yeah. It's infuriating. It's the worst. It's the absolute worst.
Which is weird because like we opened with like Ollie and Amelia, but their interactions don't work at all, and that's just because they don't have good chemistry with each other.
No, they can't.
And that's part of the reason, like they don't know what they're doing. Like they literally don't know which one of those characters are supposed to be. Like Amelia at best sounds like this is my toy, and Ollie is just kind of like I don't know if I'm supposed to be sarcastic or what's happening here. I got nothing.
His sarcasm doesn't come off as sarcastic, and that's weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. It's incredibly bothersome, just start to finish, as far as the characters are concerned. But man, even story wise, the story completely falls apart once the Morphin Masters are introduced. And I'm going to say it right now. I think the Dino Fury team is probably the weakest team of Power Rangers of all time. Like, literal Jesus had to come down and save them because they couldn't do what they were supposed to do. Like, take away everything that any of the Rangers have ever done. At least they were able to get to the finale by themselves.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Useless.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. Like, I think you might be onto something with that because, like, I don't think the Turbo Rangers are that strong in that show, but most of that cast is more effective, and everybody's more or better written in space
Or
and
MMPR, like, because we do start off with the original team, the veterans that have been here for so long at this point. And even taking away the fact that the Turbo Rangers, they lost their season, they still lost by themselves.
That's true, yeah. They were literally abandoned by everybody else.
Right.
It was just them, yeah.
But no, the Dino Fury Rangers get just the ghost in the machine, man. Jesus.
Yeah. Like it is such a weird, like, lazy writing kind of thing. Like they are saved because well, it's their show and we're not ready to finish it yet.
Because they're the heroes, they have to win.
Yeah, it's bad. Like I took issue with Ninja Steel being like overpowered as a group, but I mean at least like they had the tools to fight everybody, and everybody complains about like Megaforce taking out like hordes of invading forces. Yeah. But again, at least they're strong enough to pull that off.
Right.
Like it's the complete opposite with Dino Fury. They don't do anything in this two-parter to defeat Zed. Yeah. And then at the end, Izzy's like, "We did it. We're batting 1,000."
Yeah. She's like, "Man, we're doing great." I'm like, "You guys didn't do anything." Thoughts and prayers. That's what you guys were ultimately added up to.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was really bad. And that's not
even it was bad.
The finale. Like, that was only the mid-season finale. That was the way to write Zed out because they can't beat him.
Yeah. Yeah. No one can, though.
No one can. That's the thing. Like, even when he goes toe-to-toe with the Green Morphin Master, he's stronger than she is.
Yeah. He's even like, your power grows weaker. Yeah. That has nothing to do with anything because apparently she can just do anything unless it comes to him. He just can beat her because he's that strong.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then we waste a lot of time. Like we have to do the Ollie and his mom thing.
Yeah, the weird Desert Japan episode after that.
As good as Things Unspoken is as an episode, it doesn't have anything to do with what's going on in the show.
That's true, yeah, because it has no bearing on like the actual plot.
Yeah, exactly. Like it favors this character absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, both of these characters really. I'm gonna go with all three of the characters because even Park Ranger Garcia is like, I learned not to be so critical of your guys' choices with Javi already, which is consistency. Like, I don't know what it is, man. Anytime we focus on this family as a whole, they always get better.
Yeah,
Except
it's weird. It's such a bizarre
he stays
thing.
in the spot like the whole time.
Yeah. He's
And I don't
just
know.
kind of there. He's background ranger man.
I'm here too.
Yeah. Don't worry, guys. I'm just gonna play my music in the background. It's fine.
Right.
I'm playing my harmonica.
Yeah. I'm playing a harmonica. Watch.
Yeah.
It's awful. It's awful. And then we finally get to the invasion arc, which isn't really necessarily an invasion. The idea is that Void Queen uses all the Sporks to make one giant Sporks beast called Nemesis, which is sick.
Yeah.
Before we get there, we got to get Pop dies because a whole group of Rafkonians, Rafkonites come down and they're like, we need a new home. We're gonna take Earth from the humans.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And Ayad and Zato are like, that's not the Rafcon way. Okay, and that's not very knightly or whatever. It doesn't make
Well,
any sense.
again, the Rafcon way when they've been gone for millions of years.
Right. And where did they go? Were they just floating in space like the spaceship from Wall?
Yeah, they wanted to do the Man of Steel thing. That's why they were like, oh, we're going to take over the planet. It's fine.
That is what it feels like. And then Pop ends up saving one of them and gets knocked down into a tree. It's harsh. Like, it's a really, really hard hit. Hey,
really?
he's dying at the end of this episode. But he doesn't die. It's actually kind of annoying how fast that happens. Because like he's lying.
He kill people. If he had died, the Morphin Master would have come out of nowhere and been like, he must relive. Why? I don't know.
I don't know. It's kind of like Dewey Cox. I should have spent more time playing catch with you instead of my mind and body to kill you with a machete. Oh my god! But no, he's like lying there and he's dying, and Amelia reveals herself as the Pink Ranger for no reason because he doesn't die.
Yeah, that's true. I remember us thinking like, oh well, if he dies, then yeah, this is gonna work. But then he's fine.
He's fine. Like, but before that, he tells her like, "Oh, you were the baby that I took from these aliens," and she gets all antennaed and like,
it makes no sense. Sorry,
no sense. It doesn't. Again, I think it was supposed to be Izzy, man. I guarantee that's where we were supposed to go, especially since they get a kiss, Ollie and Amelia, at the end of the show. She kissed him on the cheek, but still.
Yeah. Well, even like when she goes into the area 62 or whatever, I think is what it's called, right?
Yeah.
Like she runs into to Park Ranger Garcia, and that only makes sense if it's Izzy.
Right. I was thinking the same thing. Like I know it's supposed to be Slider in disguise, but like the only way that matters is if it's Izzy.
Yeah.
And then she starts to have a conversation with him, and she realizes something's off. It's not like, oh, I'm on a coffee break underground with no coffee. Wink.
I'm evil, rawr.
Yeah. Never mind, it was a trap. Even though there's no reason for that guy to be in disguise unless it's Izzy.
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh, it's so bad. It's so bad. And then like the whole reason that she's down there is because Pop Pop was like, there's a file in this safe. I don't know what's in it, but it might have some answers for you. That's all she. And she's got her stupid ghost hunting net
Oh yeah, she comes in there with the yeah. Oh
in a radioactive suit. Even though we've already established that the place is not radioactive, that's just something Pop Pop believes, and his beliefs are stupid. But she gets to keep acting like an idiot. I'm so confused.
well, she's
And
the Pink Ranger, or she's the main character. It's fine.
she.
This show's really bad.
Yeah, this.
I'm sorry. After coming off of that two-parter, it's just like, ugh,
Yeah, and it keeps getting
that's
worse.
frustrating.
Like they don't beat Void King. She just touches him by accident.
And he sees like the past.
Yeah, they see each other's memories, which we didn't even talk about that. If she was an alien, Zato should have fucking known.
Yeah, yeah,
Not only did he read her mind in episode 1, they swapped bodies.
yeah, yeah.
What? This was not where we were supposed to go. This is clearly
No. This
was an
is yeah.
afterthought in the worst possible way. This was a rewrite again, so that Izzy wasn't the main focus of the show because we can't have the lesbians kiss at the end for some reason.
Yeah,
It
that's
didn't
fair.
mess well with audiences. Fuck you. God, it's so
And it is like a really bad finale. Like as far as like a because they don't build it well. Like that was the thing that we've been talking about. Like if this was the plan, you need to set that up. Otherwise, it just comes off like you don't know what you're doing. And guess what? It's because you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. But that's why I say it feels like a rewrite. Like anytime it comes up, it's stapled to the end of the episode that hasn't been focused on it at all.
Yeah.
Even the times when it could have been focused on, like the Wish Charm episode, they don't do it. They don't focus on it because that's not where we were supposed to go. It's not until the end of the episode where we get that one shot of Ollie talking about, I believe in you, not really. Oh, I'm sorry. It's
fine. It's fine.
This story pisses me off to no
end. It does look legitimately because they didn't land it and because this is where they're going. It does affect everything else, like my enjoyment of the rest of the show. Because like from a show that we were like relatively enjoying up until that point, if you rewatch it knowing where it's going, Jesus, it's hard to get through.
Yeah, it's way worse. I think we might actually have to re-rank this show from
where did we rank it?
I think we gave it a B the last time.
Yeah, that's too high.
That's way too high. This is going to be one of the worst of the worst. Absolutely. Going forward, this is going to be one of the seasons that I'm like, no, you guys can keep Cosmic Fury. I really hope Cosmic Fury is a little bit better because we're going to.
I remember them being written, or at least the characters being written better. But as far as like if it is better, I do think, and that show has its own problem with the finale that we'll get into when we talk about it. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of what I think.
Now, the last thing that I want to touch on is again, I think the legacy aspect of the show, wanting to like introduce the nostalgic factor and make these callbacks and references that again nobody who's actually watching the show would appreciate unless you're a review channel and you have to watch it.
yeah
like us, then you might you can get some of it. Like there's a line that Jane has about opening Buzz Blast and Angel Grove. There's a bunch of references back to back where Tarek and Santora are trying to build this crib because they're going to have another baby, which if they're going to have another baby,
doesn't go anywhere.
Baby, but whatever. And they're arguing about what color to paint it. Pop-Pop's like, Ocean Bluff blue. No, it's going to be Briarwood green. And I'm like, okay, guys,
That is so weird.
Yeah, we'll watch it after this if you want to. But yeah,
That is so weird.
Yeah, it's such a bizarre. Like, why make these references? Nobody
But even
knows.
then, like, isn't Jayborg like from Hartman Industries? Like, don't they point that out?
Oh
Like,
yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she does come from the Overdrive complete. Wow, I forgot
Yeah.
about that. I haven't seen
Yeah.
season 1 in a long time, and that's my thing. Is like, how bad did season 1 have to be to make season 2 the more palatable?
Well, those first 3 episodes are rough to get through of Dino
Because
Fury.
I mean, I would argue the same thing about season 2.
Season 2? Oh, okay.
Episodes 1
You're
and
the
2.
one who rewatched this whole thing. It was just,
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I had to. I had to know, and it's better not knowing.
Yeah, ignorance is bliss, man. Like, when we have more information, it's just like, oh.
Oh, I also wanted to point out that you lied to me.
What's that?
Void Knight is in the Sentai.
Oh, yeah.
Villain. I don't know what his whole involvement is. I haven't seen Yo Soldier, but we might get to that eventually. I still want to
Maybe.
watch Ranger. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
I got to get through Hurricane Jerk because you just refuse to watch anything associated with Ninja Storm.
I couldn't help it. I want to watch the show. I really do. But it's just like Vietnam flashbacks, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
1,000-yard stare.
Just.
But I have
Anyway.
fun facts for you that I wanted to say for the podcast specifically. Do you know who else Tarek played in Power Rangers? I'll give you a hint. He did a voice.
Was it Fury?
It wasn't Fury.
Oh.
It's from my favorite season.
From Jungle Fury?
Yeah. I found this out and I lost my mind. And it makes so much sense.
Is it Gecko?
It's not Gecko. No.
Oh, okay.
It was Weiger.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Right.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Right? It's like, oh, cool. And you know what? I really like Tarek's whole involvement in the story. I like that guy's just a good actor, honestly. Costume department needs some work because what the hell? Dude's walking around dressed like the Gimp. When he's in hiding, it's so bizarre.
Yeah, he's got like the eyeliner in there.
No, he's got this like leather. He's got these leather straps over this purple shirt, and I'm like, why are you wearing that? That's not inconspicuous at all.
He's the Purple Ranger, though. It's fine.
Yeah, which we'll talk about it more next week. But Fran walks around with a lot of purple. Or sorry, Fern walks around with a lot of purple. That's the first time I've ever done that. Thinking about Dino or Jungle Fury. Sorry.
Yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But she wears a lot of purple. Like her gym bag is purple. The dress that she wears to prom is purple. Shouldn't have been orange.
When she's introduced, she's wearing purple.
Yeah, that's true. Whatever. Yeah. Cosmic Fury is a different show.
Weird.
But
that is true.
Sorry.
Her being orange doesn't make any sense.
Totally forgot to bring up how Zato uses the ultimate weapon, kills himself, but everybody else is fine. Like Santora gets to go home. I don't understand how any of that's supposed to work. And that is actually probably the best acting we get out of Ion the entire season. Proving that he can be good. He's just not for whatever reason.
It's so weird.
But at the end of the show, and that's the moment where the Morphin Masters are like, we can't bring him back. Even though at the end of the show, at the end of the episode, he just materializes for whatever reason. I'm really hoping we get a solid explanation for that come Cosmic Fury, because I want to rewatch that show too before we get to talking about it again.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. Yeah, there's a lot I have to say about that show in particular.
Yeah.
But did you have any other topics you wanted to bring up before we get to the
Rumble?
The Rumble, yeah.
I just wanted to say one thing, because before we watched season 2 initially, I was on Reddit talking about season 1 and how it's not good. It's not terrible. At least I really hope not. Thinking about it now, if I have to rewatch that show, it might irritate me even more. But I remember being on Reddit and just complaining about the show just in general, how Ollie and Amelia have no sort of chemistry at all, how all three of the first Rangers that are introduced are just bland and absolutely tasteless. And somebody was like, how is Amelia not good? Her whole thing about being Indian was set up perfectly. And no, it was not.
Yeah, it was not. Absolutely not. That is a bold-faced lie.
But I would also like to apologize because we burned a lot of time on this topic, and I apologize. I did not think we were going to take this long to talk about how bad this show is, but man, this show is bad.
Yeah, it's not great.
Whew! It has flashes of brilliance in green, but that's it.
Yeah.
In green in both Izzy and Mucus.
Okay, not the Master, though. The Master does kind of ruin a lot of it.
Yeah, there is that. Whew. But anyway, on to a random Ranger Rumble.
Yeah, let's do this. So we got the randomizer for the list of Power Rangers. Let's see who's going to go head to head before my tablet dies.
Ranger, I dare you.
Okay, so we got number 78 on the list. Chip Thorne.
Oh,
Mystic Force Yellow.
Just kill me now.
And he'll be going up against 87, who is Tyzon.
Oh my god. Okay.
So we got a Lightning Mage up against a Man of Mercury.
Yeah, the Mercury Ranger. Okay. See, this is fascinating because we didn't talk about it at all. How Zato and Ion are probably the worst Alien Rangers we ever had.
Yeah, they're pretty bad, yeah.
After Rafcon gets destroyed, neither of them have any sort of emotion at all.
Yeah, the guy in the suit is more broken up about it than Zato is.
Yeah, because the dude doesn't have any levels to his voice. It's incredibly annoying. He has the same monotone commercial jingle voice for everything.
Yeah, it's bad. And it was a thing that I'd clocked like immediately. Like as soon as the guy started talking, I'm like, that doesn't sound right, bro. I don't know what you're doing. Yeah. But like, this is not gonna work out.
We've done this before with Heckle, with Orion, with freaking Tyzon, and they all do it properly.
Yeah.
Regardless of how bad Overdrive is, and it is bad, Tyzon is on point. I like Dwayne Cameron. I mean, and part of that is just having hung out with the dude.
Yeah, he's a really chill guy for sure. But who do you think wins in this fight between Tyzon and Chip?
Chip, I struggle to find anything likable about Chip.
Does he have? Well, no. I'm just saying, like in terms of combat, like I think he might have more of an arsenal than Tyzon does.
I have to agree.
He's got a team battleizer, bro.
Yeah, they've got an ultra mode for sure, but Tyzon being the 6th Ranger and the Mercury Ranger, I think they put him on a pretty even tier. I do have to agree with you. I think the Mystic Force Rangers are ultimately stronger than the Overdrive Rangers just as a whole. So
yeah,
as much as it pains me because I hate Chip.
Yeah, Chip is not great.
I do think Tyzon would have to take the L on that one.
Yeah, in a fight, I think that the guy who can do like lightning powers trumps the guy who can turn into Mercury.
Yeah, because metal conducts electricity.
Yeah. So I mean,
I have to
unfortunately, Yeah, like a lot of that stuff, yeah. We get into like mid tier things like that. That wasn't nearly as fun of a conversation because it's two seasons that neither of us are huge fans of, with Rangers that neither of us are huge fans of.
I mean,
So,
I like Mystic Force, but I hate Chip. I do think I don't
well, like we've said before, like Mystic Force is good except for all of the Ranger stuff.
except for when the Rangers are involved, Mystic Force is great.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and as bad as Overdrive is, we both agree that it's not the worst season.
yeah. No, not at this stage. No. I will say that I don't think Dino Fury is worse than Ninja Steel
No,
because it didn't like betray the core values of being a Power Ranger. But I will say that was one of the most infuriating experiences I've had reviewing or watching an episode in a very long time. So thank you for that.
hey, you're absolutely welcome. And when we actually get to reviewing these episodes, I look forward to how many of these you actually recommend.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how we get to it. But for now, yeah,
Yeah. Thanks
I've
for
been Nick.
joining us on
Yeah,
this incredibly long-winded and probably annoying discussion. Let us know how wrong I am, because really it was a lot of me complaining about this show, and
sure.
it,
Yeah,
I find it hard to find anything. Well, I won't say I find there's not a lot of good I can say about this season. Coming back and watching it after again knowing where it's going and how these characters interact with each other, it's just not my cup of tea.
yeah,
That's on me. So join us next week when we talk about Cosmic Fury and we do another random Ranger Rumble because, man, these have been fun to talk about so far. I'm very
yeah. No,
excited.
it is interesting to do just kind of a good randomizer. It's a good fun time. So,
I agree. I'm Ice
but
Van,
yeah, I'm Nick, aka Ironbat 1993. May the power chamber protect you.
but, do it yourself.
Yeah, just make sure that I can.
I'm still on. Again, welcome back to the Andy Chamber podcast.